everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to a brand new video. Now today we've got a couple of stories to kind of touch over, talk about from the transfer department. We've got stories about some of the linked players. We'll be talking about one of them in particular. McCann's come out as we're recording this in the last half an hour and talked about the one particular area in the team that he's looking to improve on. So if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, like the video if you loved it as well, and we're also going to bring out another episode either today or tomorrow talking about Jay McGrath, talking about Harry Clifton having no regrets, and talk more about the team as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that one, and let's get straight into this one. So we're going to start off with the big breaking story, shall we say, and that's McCann coming out via the Free Press and talking about the goalkeeping department off the back of Ian Lawler's new contract. We discussed that in episode 1. We talked about Billy Sharp's contract. It touched a little bit on that as well. So we're going to have a look at this story first of all then. So the story came from the Free Press, and I did write this down with an update on the transfer situation. And he has confirmed that strengthening the goalkeeping department is a priority ahead of next season. With veteran goalkeeper Lawler signing a 1-year extension, McCann has emphasised the need for increased competition for that starting spot. Now, this is what McCann said to the Free Press. He said, "We're delighted that Lawsy has signed." It's a very Ollie type answer there, but an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer answer, Lawsy. He says he's going to work very hard to push next year to be the number one. We will bring in another goalkeeper, but Lawsy knows he's in for a fight and he's all for that. The club is also considering the return of Chelsea loanee Ted Sharman-Loan, who played all 46 league games last season. However, and this is a big one to note here, his involvement in the upcoming UEFA Under-21 European Championship and interest from other clubs, including Bolton Wanderers, may influence the outcome. Chelsea holds the final decision, having recently extended Sharman-Loan's contract by a year. Of course, that was last summer when they extended it by another year. He's yet to sign a brand new contract. He is currently, at the minute, out of contract for the summer. We don't know if he's signing a new deal yet. We don't know where he's going as of yet. We're going to talk more about the headline and about the story later on, but we'll just touch on that bit first. Goalkeeping department is an area we're absolutely going to be looking at. We are looking into the possibility of a Sharman-Loan return, and McCann has come out and said, and I'll repeat what he said in the press, "We're delighted that Lawsy is signed. He's going to work very hard to push next year to be the number one. We'll bring in another goalkeeper, but Lawsy knows he's in for a fight and he's all for that." We've said this countless times about other players and what they've said in the press, what McCann said in the press about those players. The fact that players want to come in and fight for their spot, even though they know they're going to be in for a challenge, shows we have the right morale, the right mentality, and the right direction as a football club. We know for a fact that McCann is taking us in the right direction. We knew he was going to be the man. If it didn't happen last season, it was going to happen this season. Maximum another year to get back into League One. It was going to take us 3 years maximum, and we did it in 2. So we know we can trust McCann. He's a proven winner. We trust what he says in the comments. And yeah, there was doubts in some spots towards the back end of last season from some supporters. And there was maybe 1 or 2 occasions where I thought, maybe we could drop into the playoffs this year. But you know what? McCann's come out swinging. And that unbeaten run towards the back end of the season, that 9-game unbeaten run, got us over the line as champions. I trust what that manager says 100%. I've got no reason at all not to trust him at this stage. He knows what he wants. Goalkeeper is a priority. We know that now. We've heard it. We've known it for a while. As fans, we've had a gut feeling about that position. I think a return for Sharman-Loan is an absolute must. He will be on that list of targets. I think it's pretty much guaranteed, listening to the comments on the press, that he is one of the targets on that list in that position. There are other keepers you can go for. I mean, there's some high-quality ones. Moussa Dibaga from St Johnstone, he's out of contract. He'll probably end up going to League 1 or League 2 level. However, there is interest from, Prem clubs. And we have seen, these stories about, obviously when Tom King went to Wolves and Louis Molden went to Crystal Palace. And, we see stories of these goalkeepers going to these big clubs as backup keepers or reserve keepers, etc. I think that Debarga, looking at Debarga and what he can offer and seeing the stories that he's leaving St Johnstone after the contract expiry and seeing what St Johnstone fans are saying about Musa, I think that he'd be a good option. I think he'd be a realistic option from the Scottish leagues. In terms of permanent deals, I think a loanee, you can't rule out a loan deal, especially with the success of Sharman Lowe or the loan keepers in the past over the last decade or so, Sam Johnston, Seni Dieng. There was some success with Ellery Balcom as well at times, so you can't rule out a loan deal at this stage. People like Sinisalo from Celtic could be an option. If Wimbledon didn't get promoted, Owen Goodman would absolutely be on that list, 100 million%. So you've got opportunities there, you've got options there, and I would say that we've got a full range of options to choose from in terms of goalkeepers, and I think that that's an absolute must. I think goalkeeper is the biggest priority, we know that. So that's my take on that particular situation in terms of the goalkeeping department. I do think that goalkeeper is a massive priority. You've got Lawler on a new one-year contract. You've got teenager Jay Coram who wants to break through at some point. You're going to have academy keepers that are going to want to try and prove their spot long term. You're going to need to bring in a number one. You're going to need to bring someone who can take over that number one shirt. Because I don't think Lawler will wear number one next season. I think it'll be a new goalkeeper that wears that number one shirt. So I would say that it's a massive priority getting a goalkeeper in. A loanee with high potential that can progress you forward and progress his own career forward is a good direction to go in at this stage. I think a permanent keeper is my personal choice. Someone like a Musa Debarga, someone like Sharman Lowe on a permanent if he doesn't sign a new contract at Chelsea. Yes, the wages are scary, and we've learned about that since the owners' event, from what McCann said to me in the owners' event, because it was me that asked about Sharman Lowe and the wages, etc. And he said to me in front of everyone, the wages are scary. I'm paraphrasing here, but the wages are scary. So Sharman Lowe financially would be a massive ask on a permanent basis. If he signs a new contract with Chelsea, there's the opportunity of a loan deal. You can't discredit Bolton in the Sharman Lowe situation because they have a track record of developing goalkeepers. Nathan Baxter this season. In the past, James Trafford, a.k.a. Thogden's brother. I'll never say that again. But yeah, I think the goalkeeper's a massive priority, but we've got options on the table, and we will analyse whoever we sign. We will back them all the way as fans, 100%. Got no reason not to back them because they're McCann's players, and we trust what this manager does with the squad, both in and out. So I think goalkeeper's a massive department to sign, and it's one of our biggest priorities of the window, along with centre-backs, but I trust McCann to get the right man. Going on further from that article, McCann has also emphasised and highlighted the importance of experienced players like striker Billy Sharp, who also extended his contract. He praised Sharp's influence in the press, saying he's bigger than just what you see out on the pitch. It's the work he does on the training ground with the younger players, and that's massive for us. And I agree with him. I think experience is a massive part of this window. Look at some of the players in League One that are leaving there after their contracts expire. Players like Hakeem Adofin. I expect him to leave Rotherham for a championship club. If he stays in League One, that could be an opportunity for us. And I know Rotherham fans will comment down below saying you're deluded, this, that, the other. You never know in the transfer window. Expect the unexpected. You've got Matty Pearson. He'll be chased by a number of clubs. I had my source email me and saying that, he's someone we could be looking at. Again, I can't confirm or deny that. That's just what I've been told by someone. But it doesn't surprise me if we were after someone like a Matty Pearson with a bit of experience at the back. But they also did say to me in that same email that Pearson is being chased by a number of different clubs. And I think we are out of that race financially in terms of the wages. I think that the wages that Pearson were on at Huddersfield, I think potentially similar wages puts us off because I don't think we're going to pay that kind of money in wages. So I think Matty Pearson's probably unlikely for us, even if whether we were in for him, whether we weren't in for him, I think that that's not going to happen. I don't think Pearson will happen unless I'm proved wrong. But look, like I said, some of the other players, like I said, Adofin's out there in the market as one of the better centre backs from League One in the market on free contracts, because it's probably likely we're going to bring in freebies out of contracts and loan deals. That's the primary market for League One, unless you've got billionaire owners like your Wrexhams, etc. So I do think that Adofin's probably the highest ranked centre back on the market from League One clubs alone. I think that kind of experience is exactly what we need in the squad in terms of new signings. Yes, I want to see us bring in 2, maybe 3 succession plan signings in terms of younger players that will break through into the first team in the next year or two. You'll have your academy players to do that as well. Will Flint, Sam Brown, Casper Williams. There'll be other young players coming through as well next year through the under-18s. You'll have, a couple of youngsters on loan from other clubs shining through and providing their own senior development. So experience is the key, but we have to also plan for the future as well, which I think is very, very important. Speaking of experience, and this kind of links very well into experience, the last story I want to bring you today is about Jordan Gabriel. Now, I've talked about him before. He is obviously leaving Blackpool at the end of the season. He's a right back. He's a very experienced right back. He's obviously played for clubs like Nottingham Forest. And the story is that Charlton lead the way for Jordan Gabriel, according to the Blackpool Gazette. Charlton Athletic, according to them, have emerged as the front runners to sign Gabriel, viewing him as a potential replacement for Thierry Small, who may depart on a free from the Valley. Now, of course, Gabriel featured 37 times for Blackpool during last season, but saw limited action in the latter part of the campaign, making only 6 appearances after his last start on the 3rd of March. The report was originally that Rovers were in for him, Reading were in for him, but now Charlton lead the race. Is right back the biggest priority in the window for us this season? No, I don't think it is, because you've got Tom Nixon, you've got Jordan Gabriel, Jamie Sterry, Tom Nixon, and on the left you've got James Maxwell and Jack Senior. If anything, and someone actually replied to me with this a little while back, and I actually agree with him to an extent, I think we've seen more injury concerns on the left than we have on the right. I think Nixon can do a job ahead of Sterry if Sterry gets injured or anything like that. And it's good, a good lesson for Nixon. But I do think you also need that experience on the right-hand side. So I think someone like a Jordan Gabriel would be perfect for us on that right-hand side. And Nixon covers both sides. But I also agree with the guy in that we have more injury concerns on the left than the right. So if we're going to bring an extra fullback in, it'll be on loan. It'll probably be on the left. Now, as I said, Jordan Gabriel, he's a pacey fullback. He's an attacking fullback. He's got some incredible qualities about him. He's shown proficiency in aerial duels, blocking, contributes reliably at the back. He can play at left back. He's tactically versatile as a player. He needs to improve his crossing, needs to improve his passing, and there is struggles holding onto the ball under pressure, which is exactly what we don't need in this side. So there's pros and cons for Jordan Gabriel. I would say that we probably bring in a loan at fullback if we need another fullback to cover those injury concerns. Someone like a Caleb Kaporha on loan from Crystal Palace would be perfect. Or we bring in a young player that needs time to develop but also has a lot of quality about him. And the story was in Ireland that Shea Kearney from Cliftonville, who I believe is a right back who can also adapt, he's apparently been chased by a League One club or could be joining a League One club soon. Again, I don't think that's us, but he's a player that I'd like to see us try and go for if we could. So I don't think it's the biggest priority. I think it's very, very clear that's not the biggest priority. But I do think that it's an area we have to keep in the back of our minds in case any injury concerns come up either side. So I wouldn't say Gabriel is going to sign for us, especially with Charlton reportedly leading the race for him now, with them just going up to the Championship. But I think it's a position you have to keep in the back of your mind just in case. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. And for now, I'm the CHALL. Ta-ra for now. And that is full time. Rovers till I die.